Hello to everyone. Good morning. It's still morning. I'm Eric Gomez, President, Golden Boy Promotions. I want to thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Bill. Thank you.
Buenos
So,
días. Soy Eric Gómez,
it's a big weekend. We're all very excited about the main event, but I think that we put together a great undercard for you guys. A little bit of everything, some of our top prospects fighting, some very intriguing fights. They're definitely going to be tested this weekend, and we're very excited about that. And, we couldn't be more happier for the fans. They're going to be in attendance and watching around the world on pay-per-view. These kids have been working hard, and they look up and they dream about being in this position and being in these big shows and being in these big undercards, and they want to grab your attention, you guys, the media, the TV executives' attention, and I think that this Saturday they will. They're going to have to perform well to be able to win, but that's what they're ready for. It's an incredible event. Rising contenders, future world champions. We are going to have a free view for the show, for the pay-per-view, like we normally do for any big pay-per-view. The free view broadcast will begin at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific on ringtv.com and on HBO pay-per-view telecast. And then on the pay-per-view channel. And then the pay-per-view, once again, we're going to have an early start time for the pay-per-view, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern. And that's going to, obviously be better for a lot of people in the East Coast, because normally when we do these big pay-per-views and we start at 6, the main event doesn't go on till 12 midnight. So for this show here in the East Coast, the main event most likely will go on as expected at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern. So that should, make everybody happy in the East Coast. Now you can clap. The T-Mobile Arena is completely sold out, as you guys know. There is closed circuit tickets still available, and you can get those at the MGM Resorts, okay? Or you can call 1-800-745-3000, or obviously online at Ticketmaster.com, and that's for the closed circuit. The closed circuits are going really, really quickly. We're very impressed. We sold out last time when we did Canelo Chavez, and this far out, we've already surpassed the numbers, so that's very exciting for us. There's obviously a lot of anticipation for this huge show on Saturday. I want to thank the sponsors again. Thank you very much for all your support. Tecate, Hennessy, O'Reilly's, Auto Parts, Fred Loya Insurance, Interjet, Thor, the movie Thor, Phantom Events, Tesla Bank, and Capital Holdings. Thank you guys once again. I think we had a acknowledgement yesterday, but I just can't stress it enough. We can't do these big shows without the support of our sponsors. Also, I want to give a big thanks to the Golden Boy Promotions team for all their hard work. Robert Gaspari, Monica Sears, thank you for all your work, Monica, setting up this beautiful press conference for us. Robert Diaz, all his hard work with the matchmaking. He put these great fights together for us. We're very excited. The entire staff, from everybody, Carlita, you guys, we couldn't do this without you guys, and I feel we have the best team in boxing, and I'm really proud of you guys, as well as Tom's team at Triple G Promotions, and I'm sure he's going to thank them when he gets up here. It's been great working with Tom and his team. They're very professional. There's no issues. Right, Tom? Been very smooth? Not yet. We're in boxing, not yet. But no, it's been great working with Tom. He's a professional, and I love working with Tom. He's been great. So look, obviously for us, it's a big plus at Golden Boy whenever we're doing these big pay-per-view shows, especially when it's a middleweight title, to have one of the greatest middleweights be with Golden Boy Promotions as a partner, as our boss. And I'm going to bring him up to say a few words, and that's Mr. Bernard Hopkins. Bernard.
Thank you very much. And Eric, again, hey, Monica, great job. Great job. Everybody at Golden Boy, and I see everybody, when the smoke clear, and we recognize that we have to do what we say, the best fights. And I'm going to repeat, but not long, about what was said and that was said. And now we're here. Thanks to, everybody on every side, whether it's people we negotiate with or our fighters who wants to fight the best. And that's why we're here. The young guys that's here, the guys that's been here, this is an opportunity, y'all, to be able to steal some light on your way before the big fight on Saturday. This is a you can say, invitation for you to tell people, you don't know who I am, you're going to know who I am come Friday on ESPN. And this is a step, and this is what Golden Boy wants to do also, is not only pay attention to the elite fighters, but we got a lot of fighters underneath that's thirsty. Yeah, the word thirsty to be in that position. So this is your opportunity. Take advantage of it. Everybody go in there, be safe, but also be exciting. Thank you.
I also want to thank Bernard for his hard work. This guy's been up since 5 a.m. and doing interviews and phone interviews, and he was on ESPN as well a few days ago. So he's doing his job as a promoter, and he's nonstop like when he was fighting. So I want to thank you for all your hard work, Bernard. I also want to give one more shout out and thanks to a person that's very dear, very close to me, and that's Hall of Famer Don Chargan. Thank you, Don. Don's been instrumental in my career, as a matchmaker and now as a promoter. So I want to thank you for all your advice. And, he helped develop me and Robert Diaz. And we feel he's like a father figure. And, whenever we do these big shows, big fights, we always talk to him. And he'll tell us yes or no. He's like, yes, no, don't do that, yes. So thank you, Don. We love you. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to start Saturday's fights. Again, all these prospects are very top prospects. They're Olympians at one point or very good amateurs. And we're very excited. This is the best group of kids that we have. Our top prospects, Tom's top prospects. And we're very excited that we got them these opportunities, so that you guys, the media, can get a chance to see them, so that the world can see them on a big stage and see a little glimpse of the future stars or champions. And the first person I'm going to bring up, she's not with Golden Boy, but we did a partnership to get her on this card. She's an Olympian, two-time Olympian, one of the best female fighters in the world. And we're very excited to have her out here. She's fighting for the first time in Las Vegas as a pro, and she's ready to shine. And I'm going to bring her up to say a few words, and that's Nicola Adams. Nicola's promoted by Frank Warren, so he couldn't be here. He's got his own big card, but she's going to be well represented here.
Thanks. All right. First, I'd like to say thank you to Frank Warren and Golden Boy Promotions for giving me this great opportunity to make my professional debut in the States on such an amazing card. The GGG Canelo fight is going to be one of the best fights this year, so to think that I'm able to have my pro debut on this card is a really good opportunity, and I'm hoping to put on a really good performance and gain a few more fans in the States.
Great. Thank you very much, Nicola. Thank you, and good luck in your fight. The second fight of the night features a woman that here at Golden Boy Promotions we're very high on. She's a very exciting fighter. And again, we're just, if you followed the career of Golden Boy Promotions since we started, we've worked with a couple of girls, this and that, but this is the first woman that we have under contract. And Oscar wanted to be, he wanted to start with the bang whenever we got into women's boxing. And we felt that we found the right woman to do that for us and to open the doors and to eventually do more women's boxing because we want to build it. You know, it's big around the world. In the UK, it's very big, women's boxing. In Germany, they had a lot of great champions in Germany. And we're seeing in Mexico as well, you know, that the ratings that they're drawing are incredible. You see the UFC, what they're doing with women. I feel that the women boxers are a lot more talented. Not to take away from the UFC, you know, it's a different sport, but you know, there's a lot of talent in women's boxing, and we want to start exploring that at Golden Boy Promotions. And we feel that we have our future champion, ambassador for boxing here in the United States, and we're very excited. She's a beautiful young woman. She's very exciting as a fighter as well, and that's Marlen Esparza. Marlen?
Hi, everybody. I just want to say that I'm extremely honored to be here again on such an amazing card. I want to thank Golden Boy. I want to thank everybody who's believed in me and supported me so far. I want to thank my team who's put in a lot of work. This is my third fight now, and I'm only getting better and better. I'm hoping to put on an amazing show. This time I'm going 6 3-minute rounds, which is going to be really exciting for me. It's going to be different, and I've trained really hard for it. I'm hoping that I can put on a good show, and I know it's going to be amazing. It's amazing to be on such a great card with such amazing fighters, and I really just want to do what I have to do in there. And I also want to just bring to light everything that's been occurring all over the world, especially in my hometown with Harvey and what's going on with Irma. And I just want to say thank you to Golden Boy and Triple G and Canelo for donating to Harvey and Irma. I think it's really important that we all remember. Thanks. I think it's really important that we all remember that we're all extremely lucky to be here. And, you know, life can be a lot worse, and there's a lot of people going through a lot right now. So I just want to shine some light on that and say that this fight's dedicated to everybody who's struggling, and my prayers go out to them. Thanks.
Thank you, Marlen. Now, a lot of people in boxing are talking about how the sport would be better if promoters worked together. And I agree. You know, we couldn't do these big shows if we're not working with other promoters. And I'm extremely proud of my friendship with Tom Loeffler and what we've been able to do a couple of times. And, you know, we're talking about doing more business. And he really is a class act when it comes to the promotion side of boxing, of the boxing business. I'm very proud of him. I've known him for many, many years. And I'm glad that he's finally getting his due as a promoter because he works extremely hard. This is a guy that, you know, travels all over the world and you know, to get deals done. And I know exactly how important he is for our business. And I'm proud of him, and I'm a big supporter of Tom Loeffler and what he's doing. And, you know, Triple G could not have a better head figure for his company. So I'm going to bring him up now to say a few words and to introduce his fights on the card, Mr. Tom Loeffler.
I'm ruining the microphones. Thanks, Eric. Really appreciate that. We couldn't be more excited to be here today. You know, we had the grand arrivals on Tuesday. You could already feel the buzz in the air from both the media and the fans from the beginning of the fight week. And, you know, now it's really kind of reaching a fevered pitch, and we don't even have the weigh-ins yet. So it's really like to thank the MGM properties. It's a great host hotel, the T-Mobile Arena. It's a perfect setting for this type of fight. Whenever you can have two of the best middleweights, two of the best in their division fighting each other, two of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, and two of the most marketable fighters, it's a very unique combination. You know, we've spoken about the main event yesterday at the press conference. The undercard is very exciting, and what a lot of people sometimes lose focus is that both Triple G and Canelo, at some point in their careers, were in the same position as all the fighters sitting on this dais right here. And this type of platform really can launch or give the exposure to the fighters fighting on the undercard. So It's an honor to have them all on the undercard, and we know that they're going to do their best. You know, the pressure's on them. They know when they're on a show like this, they have to perform. When they have all the media and everyone internationally watching their fights, you know, they have to perform. So I'd also like to acknowledge Eric, Oscar, Bernard, everyone at Golden Boy. Whenever you do a big show like this as a co-promotion, you know, all the little things that you have to go through, all the logistics, even starting from when we made the announcement, you know, the terrific announcement when Triple G came into the ring with Canelo after the Chavez fight. From that day on, you know, the whole press tour, all the logistics here during fight week, all the marketing, there's always going to be some hiccups. And I really have to say, you know, when we did the David Lemieux co-promotion together and this co-promotion, it's been very smooth. And I think it's reflected in the effectiveness of the promotion, in the marketing of the fight itself. Sometimes you'll see promoters kind of going back and forth, and it's just counterproductive. And I really appreciate Eric's, you know, all the involvement from the Golden Boy side. I need to acknowledge people on our side, Erica St. Philip, who's really my right-hand person, who's been with us really since we did the first Klitschko fight at the Staples Center in 2004. And ever since then, we've done shows all over the world. This is a co-promotion now between Golden Boy and Triple G Promotions. It's a new company that Triple G had formed for his career. The other people, Rondi Nicola, Oleg Herman, Max Herman, Ellen Gomez, Melissa Moskal, all the people on our side that really have to acknowledge. With that, I'd like to get into the fights that we have as part of the undercard. Somebody that's trained by Abel Sanchez. He's extremely exciting. He's 4-0 with 4 knockouts. He's kind of following in the footsteps now of the Klitschko brothers, of Triple G, you know, coming from one of the former Soviet countries. He's from Ukraine. I just want to acknowledge Sergey Boachuk. Sergey is a very exciting fighter. He's very tall and lanky for welterweight, and he's got a big punch. Abel seems to always produce knockouts up there in Big Bear. I don't know what's in the air or the water up there, but he always gets knockouts. And like I said, Sergey so far has a perfect record with 4 wins and 4 knockouts. The next fight is someone who's also trained in Big Bear for a couple of fights. His trainer is Joel Delguide. His manager, Tim Van Nieuwhuis. I'd like to acknowledge Tim, sitting here in the front row. Tim's done a masterful job working with Ryan Martin. Tim was very persistent in saying, okay, Ryan's the next big thing in boxing. He's very marketable. He's a tremendous fighter, and Tim was very persistent. And then we put Ryan on a couple of Triple G shows, and Ryan's exciting every time he goes out into the ring. Ryan's fighting an extremely tough fight against Francisco Rojo from Mexico. It's a big step-up fight for Ryan, but Ryan knows to be on a show like this, especially the first fight on the pay-per-view, you got to be in a tough fight to be on this type of a show. So with that, I'd like to bring up from Chattanooga, Tennessee, Ryan Martin.
First of all, I'd like to give thanks to Eric and Golden Boy Promotions, you know, this amazing man, Tom, and Triple G Promotions. You know, working with them has been great over the last few fights. It's been a joyful ride. And, you know, going back to March at Madison Square Garden, you know, that was a big stage for me, but clearly Vegas blows that out the water. Since I've been here, the atmosphere has been just amazing. All the fighters up here is going to be amazing undercard, so I hope no one misses the undercard show because it's going to be extremely amazing. Second, I'd like to give thanks to my coaching staff, my manager, and my hometown, Chattanooga, Tennessee. They give me a lot of support. They've been supporting me since I was amateur, 7, 8 years old coming up, and I have so much love for that city. And one thing I just want to get by is I dream of moments like this. I always felt like I was made to be on a stage like this. You know, this is what I trained my life for. I dedicated my life to the sport of boxing, to be on a stage like this, to to show my talents to the world. And, Saturday night, I'm just going to have fun and do my thing. All the hard work is already done. So, I give credit to every fighter up here. Let's put on a great show for these fans, and let's be back here and let's get our names out there and steal the show. And I know Triple G and Canelo fight is going to be a fight talked about for years. It's just exciting. I'm very grateful to be a part of this event. And but we on this stage right here are the ones that's going to take the crown after Triple G and Canelo. So hope don't nobody miss it. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Tom. I'm excited about Ryan's fight. Ryan's one of the top young prospects in boxing, and he's a very good fighter. We've seen him. He's fought for us before, and so good luck. I know he has a tough fight, but he's one of the kids that could carry the sport in the future, and if he does things right, and so good luck for your fight. He's fighting a tough customer in Francisco Rojo. I know that it was a fight that I talked to Tom about. Tom was a little nervous about it, but he believes in his fighter, and he knows that for this card we're all sacrificing. We're all making sacrifices to make the best fights, and that's what it takes. Francisco Rojo has a great record. I believe he's ranked number 3 in the world. So I'll bring him up to say a few words, and Robert Diaz can translate for him. Francisco, pásale. Les presento a Francisco Rojo, el rival de Ryan Martin.
Okay. Hola, buenos días a todo el público y prensa.
Hello, good morning to everyone, to the media, to the fans.
Bueno, estoy muy agradecido con Golden Boy Promotions por esta gran oportunidad que me da. La verdad no es mi oportunidad, es mi sueño.
And I'm very grateful for the opportunity that Golden Boy has given me. It's not an opportunity, it's a dream.
Y pues claro, pelear en esta cartelera, debutar aquí en Las Vegas en lo que es Canelo Golovkin, ¿quién no quisiera estar aquí? Es la cartelera del año, la que todos esperan, y pues agradecido con eso.
And who doesn't want to be on a card like this, on the great event, on Canelo Golovkin? And for me to be making my debut on a card like this, I'm just very grateful.
Y claro, mi rival sabemos que es Ryan Martin, sabemos que es un rival invicto, que viene pues con todas las ganas de seguir invicto.
And we know Ryan Martin is a tremendous talent. He's undefeated, and he wants to continue being undefeated.
Pero lo único que les digo es que Ryan nunca ha peleado con un rival de verdad, con un rival, bueno, ahora le toca a un mexicano, créanme, los mexicanos hacemos la diferencia arriba del ring. ¿Por qué? Porque nos entregamos.
And believe me when I say this, Ryan Martin is undefeated, but he's never fought an opponent, a known opponent, a Mexican opponent like me. And I'm willing to show that us Mexicans will leave it all in the ring to win the fight.
Respeto mucho a mi rival, la verdad, pero pues es mi sueño, se los vuelvo a repetir. Vengo con hambre y la verdad, todos los rivales que ha enfrentado Ryan Martin no se comparan conmigo.
And I respect him a lot. But like I said, it's my dream to fulfill, and regardless of who he's fought, they don't compare themselves to me.
Agradecido con todos ustedes y con Golden Boy por esta gran oportunidad.
Once again, thank you to everyone, and thank you to Golden Boy for this great opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you, Francisco. So this next fight, about 3 years ago, Robert Diaz came up to me and he said, when we get together and we think about fights at Golden Boy Promotions, Robert comes over, we sit down, we have a big board, we write up names, and it's almost like, do you guys remember that board game, Battleship? You sunk my battleship. Well, Robert and I sit down and we come up with ideas, and we're shooting this and that. And about 3 years ago, Robert said, hey, you know what's going to be a great fight in the near future? He said, Randy Caballero and Diego de la Hoya. Eventually, they're going to meet up and they're going to fight each other. And I said, you know what? Yeah, if we can keep them undefeated and keep fighting, and if one of them can become champion or something. And you fast forward now, and it's, incredible that it's finally going to happen. And boxing is unlike any other sport in the way that sometimes your opponent is it's in the same stable. And that's boxing, and that's the best opportunity for you, is to fight the guy that's in your stable. Because boxing is a solitary sport. It's you're the only one up there, you're fighting, and you can be friends. And you've heard all these stories, and there's movies about it, about fighters fighting their friends or fighting someone from their hometown. And that's boxing. You're never going to see the Philadelphia Phillies play against themselves. Maybe in a scrimmage or something, but it's not a real game. But boxing's different like that. And these are our two of our top prospects. And, we've been questioned by the media, well, why are you guys having them fight each other? Why? Because we want to make great fights. We're committed in making great fights and matching the best against the best. We could take different routes with these fighters. We can do things differently, but you know what? They want it, and they want to be great, and they want to take chances. And we want to be great as a promoter too, and we want to give you, the public, the media, we want to give you guys the best fights that we can come up with. So I'm very excited about this fight. I think that both guys, it's a 50-50 fight. Both guys have been brought up properly. They've had great fights. You have Randy, who won a title, has fought abroad. And you have Diego, that's been impressing every single fight, honing in his craft with Joel Diaz and Coachella, working hard. And now they're going to meet on Saturday night. Both guys undefeated and with major implications. If Canelo's going to sacrifice his career, as long as Triple G, they're going to sacrifice, these guys are willing to do the same. Everyone on this day is. They're going to take tough fights because that's what it takes to become a champion and to become great, to become the next Bernard Hopkins. Bernard did it all his career. So we're us at Golden Boy, we have deep relationships with both of these fighters. Diego's related to Oscar, but in many ways, Randy's like a brother to us, like a little brother, because he's been with us for so long. So, for us, it's important that both guys, get what they want, and that's greatness, and be able to achieve it and get the chance to become great. And we're happy to be able to provide that for you guys, the fans, and these guys are going to give it their all with their hearts. He's got an incredible record, 19-0. And when you carry the name of De La Hoya, a lot is expected of you. So it's been tough for Diego. It's been very tough because he's got that last name. He's a target. But he's been passing every single test. And this is probably the biggest test this Saturday of his career. But he's ready for it. He's worked hard for it. And I'm going to bring him up to say a few words. 19-0, 9 KOs, Diego De La Hoya. Diego. Joel Diaz is going to come up and translate for Diego.
Hola, buenos días. Primero estoy agradecido con Dios por estar aquí.
Good morning. First of all, I'm very thankful with God for being here.
Dar las gracias a mi promotora, a mi manager, a mis entrenadores por confiar en mí.
I want to give thanks to my promoter, my manager, and my trainers for believing in me.
Esta pelea es un gran paso para mí que me está catapultando en casi un campeonato del mundo.
This fight is a great opportunity for me. It's going to catapult me to close to a world title.
Me he preparado muy bien, 7 semanas con el mejor campamento que he hecho en mi vida, en mi peso perfectamente bien, así que este sábado voy a dar una gran pelea.
I have prepared myself 7 weeks, one of the best camps of my life, and I'm going to give one of the best fights this Saturday.
Porque sé que Randy también se preparó muy bien, sabe que he entrenado muy bien y sabemos que vamos a robarnos el show este sábado.
Because I know also that Randy prepared himself really well, and he knows that we're going to steal the show.
Así que estamos listos para el sábado, Randy, y a ganar. voy a ganar este sábado y voy a gritar Viva México.
And I am ready, and we are ready, Randy. Thank you.
Gracias, Diego. This next kid is truly a star. He's one of the kids that we brought up as a prospect and really started developing the following. And, for us, him, winning a world title when he went to Europe and won the world title was incredible. He had all the odds against him, but he did what he does best. He worked hard for it. He went in there, fought, blood, sweat, tears, everything, and he won the world title. That's so difficult to do. You don't understand when you have to fight abroad and fight for the world title somewhere else, out of your home country. The mental aspect, you have to be mentally strong to be able to do that. And Randy's been able to do that. He's one of the kids that whenever we post things on our social media or whatever, we always get the biggest response. People love him. He's a true warrior. He's in tough on Saturday night, like I explained a little earlier, but he's ready for it, and that's what he wants. He wants the best fights. He wants to fight the best because he wants to be great. I want to bring him up. He's undefeated, 24-0. He's a former world champion, and he's going to be ready to shine on Saturday night. Randy Caballero.
How you guys doing? Good afternoon. First and foremost, I want to thank God for this opportunity. Without him, I wouldn't be here right now. Camp went amazing. I feel good. I feel strong. I'm ready to go. I want to thank HBO for giving me the opportunity to be on this amazing card. Golden Boy Promotions, Robert, everything you've done since we traveled the world, man. We traveled the world together to win that world title. I appreciate everything you've done, and everybody at Golden Boy, the amazing job that you guys do to put on these amazing shows. Just to be a part of this card is a dream come true for any fighter. I know a lot of fighters out there would just love to be on a big card like this, and all of us up here on it, and we're going to take full advantage of it. And you know what? You're not going to want to miss it. September 16th, it's going to be an all-out great night of boxing from the first fight all the way into the last fight. I know Triple G and Canelo have a big fight coming up on both of them, and they're going to give it their all. Both of them, winner comes out, best pound-for-pound fighter, and that's what us fighters want to do, is to get to where they're at. And I think this is what this card is going to do for us, is everybody's career's on the line. From Martin's career, this is a step right here. And then you got the co-main event, fighting for a title eliminator. Winner gets a title shot. Good luck to both of you. And, as well as myself, two undefeated fighters that are going head-to-head to give it their all. They don't want to lose, and they know the winner is going to get one step closer to the world title. You know what? I work very hard. I traveled the world to win a world title. I have way more experience, and I think I'm as tough as opponent he's ever faced. And you know what? Come September 16th, I'm going to put on a great show for you guys. You're not going to want to miss it. And see you guys there.
Thank you, Randy. So our co-feature, that brings us to our co-feature. Some of you in the media might have heard we had a little bit of a problem 2 days ago. The original opponent for Joseph Diaz was Jorge Lara. He pulled out with a back injury, supposedly. Who knows? But he pulled out of the fight, and Robert Diaz, did a great job in repairing it with Rafael Rivera. Rafael Rivera cannot be here now because he's traveling. He's traveling over here. We got him. Luckily, he was scheduled to fight next week, so he's been in camp for about 6 weeks already. He was getting ready for a fight next week, so it was just a perfect, transition for him to come and fight on this big show. He's undefeated as well, Rafael Rivera, 25-0. And I'm just happy that we were able to repair it. Many of you guys know how it works in boxing. Whenever you have a show and a guy pulls out 3 days before the weigh-in, you normally lose that fight. You lose it, especially when it's on a pay-per-view. So we're extremely lucky to be able to get Rafael Rivera. He was ready and willing. And now you guys get to see Joseph Diaz fight. and do his thing because he's one of the most exciting prospects out there in boxing. Actually, he's one of the most exciting contenders. I can't really say you're a prospect anymore. You're a contender now. And this Saturday, you're going to get that due diligence, because you're going to be fighting for a title eliminator and get that one step closer to fight for the world title. He definitely is our top prospect. He's undefeated, former Olympian. He's very exciting. People love to see him fight. He's developing a big following as well. He's become a staple now of some of the big shows we do. HBO loves him. They've done a great job with promoting him as well, so thank you to HBO. And I want to bring him up to say a few words. Joseph Jojo Diaz.
Hello, everyone. First off, I want to thank Golden Boy Promotions, Oscar De La Hoya, Eric Gomez, Bernard Hopkins, Robert Diaz, and the rest of the Golden Boy staff. You guys do a tremendous job. I also want to thank HBO for always giving me these great opportunities to be fighting on such a great network. I want to thank my managers, Ralph and Moses Heredia, for blessing me with all these opportunities. It's a dream come true, man. Ever since I was a little kid and ever since I signed that professional contract, my manager promised me all these good fights. And for me to actually be in these big cards, it's a dream come true. So I'm very fortunate. I thank Ralph and Moses Heredia. I had a great 10-week training camp. Eric and Oscar De La Hoya gave me a call saying that I was going to be fighting. I didn't expect to be the co-main event, but once they said I was going to be the co-main event, man, my heart dropped and I got down to my knees and I prayed to God and said, you know what, God, I know this is the opportunity that you put in front of me, and I know this is the opportunity to showcase my talents and the blessings and the talents that you provided for me. So I'm going to go out there and do my best. I know we were supposed to fight Jorge Lara. He was a tough opponent, and a lot of boxing critics were saying that he was going to be the toughest opponent to date. But I wanted to go out there and showcase to everybody that it's sink or swim in this sport of boxing, man. And I had my life jacket ready, and I was going to come out victorious with Jorge Lara. But unfortunately, he ended up pulling out. We got another tough opponent, Rafael Rivera, ahead of me. He's a young, undefeated fighter, and I know that he's going to come out, wanting to pull an upset because he's given an opportunity of a lifetime. And I know that him fighting as a co-main event and getting the exposure, this type of exposure, he's going to come out there and come out guns hot. So I got to be well prepared for him, and I know it's still going to be an action-packed fight. I want to thank one of the most person that I love the most and I appreciate the most, my father, Joseph Diaz Sr., for always giving me all the blessings that he does to me, always keeping me on track, making sure that I'm avoided from all the distractions outside of the boxing, and just getting me 100% ready for this fight, Dad. I love you. Come Saturday night, this fight is dedicated to you and Grandpa, man. You guys are not going to want to miss it. This co-main event is going to be a very exciting fight. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you know, Francisco Rojo is now in Vegas. I'm sorry, Francisco Rojo. Rafael Rivera is now in Vegas. He's on his way to do one medical that Vegas requires that California didn't. As Eric mentioned earlier, he was scheduled to fight next week. But one thing he did say, and it's very important that you all know, when I made the call to see if he would fight Jojo, even before money was talked, he said, yes, that's the fight I want. This is the fight that could make me. So he is coming, obviously undefeated, knows what a win would mean, and knows how significant it could be for his career. So he's coming to win. He's coming to keep that record intact, and it will be for a WBC featherweight title eliminator.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you. So that concludes our press conference for the undercard. Thank you guys very much. Once again, there's still tickets available for the closed circuit, okay? Or if you can't get closed circuit tickets, watch it on pay-per-view. You don't want to miss it. Historic event, historic fight. Thank you guys very much for all your support. Thank you. We're going to pose the fighters now. So we'll get the fighters up here and you guys can take pictures. We'll pose them up. So. Bernard.
Now look, kind of lift it right here. Guys, or right
I think the monopod.
We have him wait. Sign up. Okay.
Now look straight. Look straight. Look straight. Ready. Alright, stand right here. We're gonna pose first, look straight stand pose, look straight. Right here, just look up at that. Alright, now face very good, thank you. Alright, do you mind? Brian and Sir. Alright, look straight.
Ready, okay?
You got right, Mark, right, stay. Straight. Okay, thank you. Alright, HBO pay-per-view, come back.
Play right here.
Hooters.